And we're back. Wow, what'd you think of our intro, Ed? That's our special Saturday night's main event intro. What do you think?
Interesting. That came out of nowhere, honestly. That caught me off guard.
Why?
I felt like it was very unanticipated. I really didn't see that coming. Wow.
Well, I thought it was pretty creative, being that this was Saturday night. It was Saturday night's main event. Nothing more appropriate than that. Well, let's get this started. We both scored the fight. I posted mine on Facebook. I had it 119 to 111. I scored it on that. I was being as objective. Well, very objective. I thought I was being objective. But of course, we all see fights in different manners. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that as the show's going on. I gave the first 2 rounds a draw. I felt no one took any initiative in the first 2 rounds. I felt Mayweather wasn't doing enough. And I think Canelo wasn't pressing the action either. I think they were feeling each other out. Those were the 2 feel-out rounds. So I gave them both a draw. After that, rounds 3 to 7, I felt it was all Mayweather. Mayweather just imposing what Mayweather does, doing the Mayweather pick up points, rack up points the way he does. The 8th round, I kind of gave it to Canelo. I thought he stepped it up right there. In my eyes, I think I felt he did enough in the 8th round to merit that. After that, just Mayweather closed the show, and it's a cold bucket of reality when it comes to facing this guy. I, for one, have always not liked him. I felt his arrogance, but that's the way he sells the fights. His arrogance, his putting down opponents and everything like that. And I, for one, was humbled tonight. Very much humbled. I will bow down to say that he is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I'm eating a Big Crow Sando because I felt he was going to get GTS'd tonight. Didn't happen. And the better man won tonight. And that's the way I kind of saw the fight. I'm humbled beyond belief. And by far, he is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. The unquestioned king. And until someone knocks him out, that's what he's going to be. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not Mayweather's biggest fan. I'm definitely not one of Floyd's biggest fans, but I do take my hat off to him. He is a great athlete. He's no boxer or no fighter. This is one reason I'll give you that he doesn't fight top contenders as far as the ones that are in his division. He'll fight a little guy or a guy that's gone beyond his prime. But I'll give him that. And let's face it, I don't want any. I'm clarifying this for any Mayweather fans. He's gone on record and said it himself. Hey, I handpick my opponents. I know that I can beat them, and people still buy the fight. So I mean, I really don't want anybody hating on me for taking Floyd's words. You know?
Yeah.
You know? I really don't see anybody hating me for that. Taking his own words, you know? But I did see it as just, I actually scored it, I think it was 120 to 108.
Blowout.
Just a blowout. I never saw Canelo get into this fight. I really just did see Floyd dominate from pillar to post, with taters and toast. And it just made it look really relatively easy. And at the end of the day, it just proves that Floyd once more picked an opponent that he knew he can beat. And he just picked him apart, And, hey, my hat's off to him. He is a tremendous athlete. And, I don't see anybody beating him because he really won't fight anyone in their prime. Miguel Cotto, shot Miguel Cotto. He avoided him in his prime. Manny Pacquiao, I think he's waiting until Manny Pacquiao's in a wheelchair, so that he can take on him,
Okay, I'll bring you on a fighter, which this fight won't be made. Well, speaking of which, we'll talk about future opponents coming up, but we'll continue with this fight. I just had a thought. He is an amazing athlete. He takes care of his body. He works on his craft. The man is an artist in the ring.
Yeah.
He's an artist, and we spoke to our dad after the fight, and he said he could see this guy fighting till he's 60 and continue and not get beat. What do you think?
I think Floyd would. By that point, if he's still fighting, he'd say, "Well, I'm fighting the best kindergartner," and at that point, he's going to be fighting the best kindergartner, the best 7th grader,
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's a tremendous athlete, great at this craft. Do I think he's the best pound for pound in the world? No, I think Sergio Martinez is the best because he actually takes on contenders. He doesn't fight these weird... Let's face it, tonight it was a joke. It's what I have said. Floyd only fights these freak show fights. And that was definitely a disgrace to boxing.
Wow. You're going to go to that level now.
It's a disgrace to boxing. And
why?
You're not fighting guys that are your top contenders,
I felt that Canelo was ready for this, in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Going into it, he was the best fighter. I'll put it to you like this. I'm so humbled beyond belief by Floyd Mayweather. This is how humbled I am. That you're telling me this was... I can't see anybody out there beating him. Not even your Martinez. I can't see him beating him.
I can't see him taking on Martinez either.
And I don't think Martinez, even if they were to fight, Martinez can't beat that guy. This guy's at another level to the point where I can't see him fighting anybody else. And now I've heard Amir King Khan brought up. I've heard Danny Garcia brought up, who won a very tough fight in the undercard, by the way, against Lucas Matisse. And I'm so humbled beyond belief that I'm not even going to buy another Floyd Mayweather fight.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
What's the point? Like, seriously, that's how humbled I am, though. And I love boxing. It's from my sports of watching, boxing and the UFC are tied for my second favorite sport after basketball, and I'm just so humbled beyond belief. Like, you can't imagine. I don't want to see the Khan fight because I know he's going to beat Khan. I can't see the Danny Garcia fight because Garcia's not going to land anything significant against him.
Yeah.
And I just can't see anybody beating him. Going into now future opponents for Money May.
I knew that Khan would be an option and a big option because, let's face it, again, Floyd picks his opponents.
British market?
The British market, which is big, I would know, I've seen it.
Okay, what else?
And another thing, Khan's shot. He never recovered from that brutal hit he took.
From Garcia.
And previous to that, he
by,
had been very sheltered.
By, was a British press con. Although, give him credit for this, Khan, against Marcos Maidana, he took Maidana's best shots and didn't go down.
Yeah, that is true.
Huh? Okay, that's a future opponent. Khan. Martinez was brought up as well and what I showed you, Martinez. Although you say you don't think he would fight Martinez, no way in hell.
It's too much of a bigger man.
Manny was brought up.
Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's gone beyond personal.
So
and at this point, I don't really see anybody facing Manny Pacquiao as the...
Who do you think can beat this man?
No one. No.
Just admit it then. He is the best pound for pound fighter in the world.
Well, until he starts fighting his top contenders that are in his weight division, then I'd say he is. But Martinez goes out and he fights like the number one contender.
That's true.
And he doesn't. He goes for these freak show fights. And, I mean, come on. Let's face it. You got to be a real dingbat to kind of now start believing that, oh, wow, this guy really has a shot. No. No one has a shot, you know? He knows. He
Although
picks
I
his
honestly
fools.
thought that Canelo did have a shot. I'm going to tell you what. 23 to 36 years of age. I saw Gary Payton at 35 could not guard Tony Parker at 22. He had no shot. So I put that logic into this fight. Which was bad. No doubt.
The man's a tremendous athlete. No one can take that away from him, you know? But let's face it, he handpicks his opponents, and I'm taking the words right out of his mouth, not making anything up.
Go watch the last episode of All Access.
And, he tells you himself, hey, I handpick my opponents, and look, this is where we're going to differentiate boxing, and I'm not going to say MMA in general, UFC. Now, boxing is a sport that evolved into this. You fight guys you know you can beat. You avoid the ones that can beat you. You wait for them to become vulnerable, then you take them on. That's how boxing works. Now, UFC, and I don't mean MMA, because there's a difference now. UFC is like, you fight the top draws, or you fight the number one contender.
Yeah.
And you have to fight them. You know?
Yeah.
There's no way around it. Now, there's exceptions like Brock Lesnar didn't do much and he got title shots because that's a top draw.
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen, who's never beaten anyone, and he's gotten top draw. You know?
We'll get into that in a future show.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. The hating on Chael Sonnen.
But ultimately, that's what it is, and boxing is that type of sport. Yeah, that's why you can say that it's a dying sport. In a sense, I think that's what people mean. It's a dying sport. And boring fight. Classic Floyd fight, boring.
Could I tell you something? The app, the Fight Night app. Did you enjoy at least scoring it?
Yes, I did. That was the only good part. You know.
So you did enjoy the scoring aspect of
Oh yeah,
this fight.
I did. That way you're able to say your opinion, give your opinion, and
what you thought of the fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really did like it, and the fight previous to that was good up until the undercard, right? The double main event.
The main event, yeah.
Yeah. The other half of the main event, I thought
The
that
Lucas
one-
Matisse and
yeah.
Danny Garcia.
I thought it was good up until Matisse got the mouse. By that point, it was a possum. But I don't really. It was a good fight, but I think Matisse is a little overhyped. He doesn't
really
have any
think so?
skill.
He knocked out Lamont Peterson, though.
He just is a strong fighter. That's all. You know.
Yeah.
He really doesn't have much on him. I see him as a very limited fighter. He got outclassed, and you know, just. But nonetheless, it was good up until the eye injury there. You know.
Yeah. Although I thought I saw something I'd never seen. His eye was completely shut and his corner was able to reopen that thing.
I think I saw someone do that once to a Chihuahua's eye.
Wow.
That somebody had accidentally hurt the Chihuahua, and this person opened the Chihuahua's eye with his hand.
Well,
But
no one heard that.
yeah.
Peter, no one heard that.
But one thing I will say though, you know, Floyd, tremendous athlete, but if you want to see an exciting fight, go watch someone else. Don't watch this guy. He's like I said, he's no boxer to me. He's just an athlete, you know?
Well, I could speak for myself and say this, Floyd. I'm not going to be paying part of your paycheck for the next fight. I've learned my lesson. I've seen all his fights up until, I think, the last fight that I didn't see him in was when he fought, what's his name?